Can't look around too much.
Okay, I'll put this one right here.
I'm in your way.
Oh, you're good, man. We're actually going to sneak back a little further over here. Awesome. Who else is in? I'll set this here up quickly.
Sure.
Thanks for being willing, guys.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Oh, you like the hat? I appreciate it. It's a little bit of an off-theme from Stampede, but
Yeah, looks good.
I like this kind here, yeah.
Julian, do you want to, like, this is your favorite thing?
Come on, Julian.
You literally were like, I wish someone would interview me like this. Like, that sounds
When
like...
did I say that?
I don't know, something about someone coming around last time we were here.
That's
I was
awesome.
excited about it. And then I brought up that Nick got to do it, and you're like, I would love that.
That's awesome.
Okay, thank
You all right? Okay.
I will listen though. I'm intrigued.
Fantastic. Okay. Let me start off by learning your names. Mine is Binyam.
My name's Cam.
Cam?
Yep.
Nice to meet you, Cam.
Nice to meet you.
Robbie, nice to meet you, Benny.
Robbie, nice to meet you as well. Robbie, choose us a number between 1 and 15.
I'm going to have to go with 8.
8? Okay. Everyone's loved 7, so I appreciate a different flair here. This is awesome. So on the theme of integrity, how do cultural differences affect our understanding of it? This one's an interesting one. Let me give you some background. We should define what integrity is for the most part. What does integrity mean for you guys? Cam, Robbie, right? Cam?
Yes.
Good. What does integrity mean to you?
Integrity to me means unimpeachable character.
I like that. I like that.
Integrity would be standing up for what you believe in.
Yeah.
Without any kind of persuasion toward the opposite opinion.
Cool. What are some non-negotiables that integrity has to have?
Some non-negotiables?
Yes, yeah.
Standing by your values and principles
Okay,
and not wavering from that at all.
gotcha. You agree?
Pretty much the same, yeah.
Cool. So the question kind of comes from you know how there are different cultural commitments that people have, especially in a context like we live in here, lots of different cultures coming together. Sometimes there are commitments, values that people hold that we say, ooh, that one doesn't really feel integrous, if you will. How do we sort of approach that front? Is there a different way that we should understand how integrity applies in different cultural contexts? Or is there a flat line here is what's necessary for all across the board?
I believe having an open conversation and dialogue is the best proper way to have it, I guess.
Sure enough.
Being able to talk about it and understand where those values come from,
Yeah.
why people feel that way,
Yeah.
and having that dialogue without any kind of negative aspect to it is very important. So not any kind of foreshadowing of opinions or anything like that.
Gotcha.
I may have a slightly varied opinion on this one, but I believe that moving to a new country, you
Yeah.
should adopt the values and principles of that country, and that would maintain the highest form of integrity for society as a whole. I think too much of a melting pot of cultures, it's good, but it's also, I think it can kind of rot what a country may have originally stood for.
I see. So kind of like tapping into like original sort of flair of how people mix together.
Yes, I mean, if you want to move to a certain country, let's say it's, let's say it's a Christian country, right? You wouldn't
Sure.
have to necessarily adopt Christianity, but you should respect it.
Gotcha.
And that comes from me, who's not a devout Christian at all. But yeah, I mean, France is burning right now. That's been a melting pot of cultures
Yeah.
lately, and
Yeah.
that's clearly
Yeah.
destroying the French culture.
Right.
And they're not living grounded enough in their values to allow the other people to conform to that.
I'm thinking of some examples here. I remember in university meeting one of my Korean friends, and he was describing how there are some hierarchical commitments they have as far as age. You never speak back to those who are older than you, especially if you have ideas that could really help move things forward. And I thought, oh, I'm not sure I could really incline to that. But that's where you're saying you would happily follow through on those commitments, for example.
Oh yeah, I don't care how old someone is. It makes no difference to me.
It doesn't.
You
You
could be
still
80
speak.
years old and stupid. It doesn't matter.
True.
Yeah.
but even in that setting where they never culturally will speak back to.
I see
You see what
you're
I'm saying? And that's like where there's a different value set, for
There-
example.
Yeah, there should certainly be a respect for elders.
Right.
And I think it's more the approach and the delivery that's significant. I mean, if you're
Gotcha.
going to be a pink-haired person and go and scream in people's faces about wearing a mask or something, that's probably not going to go very well.
Sure enough.
There's no respect in that situation.
Yeah. I hear you. What are your thoughts, Robbie?
Kind of zoned out a little bit on that one.
That's
but,
okay. That's okay.
I guess like where you're coming from is like adopting. It comes down to understanding where that person's coming from
Yeah.
and why they feel that way.
Sure enough.
So if you can express your opinion on, hey, your age, for example, like he said there,
Yeah.
it doesn't actually have the same value to me, but being able to understand that the different culture has that opinion and respecting it.
Yeah.
And then when that sort of dialogue and you can express it, have those conversations about it with
Sure.
an open mind.
Sure.
Yeah, that's where I guess having integrity,
Yeah.
as well as saying this is what I believe, but
Yeah.
I respect what you believe as well.
Right.
And being able to talk about it is the only way that people will be able to mutually respect each other.
Yeah. No, I hear you. Part of my podcast is geared directly towards young men, saying how can we inspire young men towards integrity? In your experience and observation in general, do you feel young men are nailing it culturally today here in our context? Or do you feel that young men are struggling their way forward on this front?
Oh, absolutely struggling. Most young men have no direction in life. They have no grounding principle that they live by. They were raised by potentially weak fathers or a culture that wants them to be more feminine, and that's not going to help move the needle in any direction. So, men are struggling a lot right now, young men in particular, and they need strong leaders in order to look up to, not idolize, but look up to so that they can know that they can be better.
Yeah, same kind of point that I was going to go for there as well. I wouldn't say weak, but not having father figures in their life and not having that sort of saying this is what's right, this is what's wrong, in the sense of what they should truly believe in, leads men honestly to have this opinion of what is masculinity, going in, being aggressive, doing different things like that, rather than just standing up for what they believe in, taking it into a different way. And that's where you see a lot of times masculinity becomes toxic without having that same boundary, and that also leads towards being in, I think you could call it like feminine aspect to it, because it's either one way or the other. There's no just standard ground for them.
Right.
It has to be a polarizing figure. Not having a strong role model that you grew up with leads for people to go into those directions.
You guys described integrity as having firm values, unimpeachable commitments to your moral ethic. How did you guys come to find that frame of reference for yourselves? Was it always there? Was there a catalytic moment in your lives that came across and you're like, ooh, here it is, and made it a lot more clear? How did that happen for you both?
Well, in tantric studies, the masculine is the container, the feminine is the energy that fills the container, and a masculine container has to be grounded, and the only way to be grounded is to know and define your values and principles and your non-negotiables. So that's why I've clearly stated the unimpeachable character. If you don't know who you are and what you believe in, who else can believe in you? What woman could support you if you don't know where you're going to go?
Yeah. How long has this journey been for you?
I'm 24 years old, my entire life.
That's amazing. Robbie.
For myself, like a little bit different when you brought that up. It's like having integrity, standing up for what you believe in.
Yeah.
Drew, like when is the time that it really came to a head in my life? And it came down to a situation with myself playing hockey, and I didn't like the direction that was going on. Took a step back because of that. And I remember saying, this is what I truly believe in, and I'll take the hit because of it, because I'm not going to bow down to what's going on in this situation. That's what integrity means to me in that sense.
Yeah. Does commitments to walking with integrity always involve a cost?
I believe you should be willing to have that cost.
Cool.
I think great things require sacrifice. There's a cost to everything. It just depends if people are willing to pay the cost. If there's a cigar for sale that's $5, you might be willing to pay that. If it's $100, you might not be willing to pay that. And that's okay. Either way, there's a cost associated to it.
Right.
It just depends how much you value what you want in order to pay the cost.
Yeah, for sure. It's really good. We're almost there.
No worries. Let's keep going.
Let's say you guys have the ears of young men who are saying, Robbie and Cam, thank you. My short-term memory? Binyam. Bin full of yams, Binyam. Yes. Let's say you had the ears of young men who are saying, we really want to figure out what this could look like, but we have no way to even know where to start. What are some helpful places you would encourage them to consider their exploration in in this trajectory?
Via the negativa, which is a term from Nassim Taleb in his book Anti-Fragile.
Okay.
It's determining what you don't want in order to know what you want.
Okay.
So that would be a very significant start.
Yeah.
Most people don't have a direction because
Yeah.
they don't know where they don't want to go. So just exploring, taking an adventure, go for a trip, go travel, go experience new cultures, try multiple different jobs. The whole 30-year career thing, that's dead. That's our parents' old school way of doing things. That generation, yeah, you could go and get a job and work and get your retirement and have a nice house and a nice family. Nowadays it's not the same. Now they want you to tip it for buying a fan at a rave just because they don't pay enough salary because of the inflation. So I think it just comes down to, really just trying. Just getting out there and experiencing life, and then you'll notice that people value you as a good man based on your character and what you believe in, and you'll find good people to surround yourself with. So good people and experiences is what I would say.
Cool. And what was that phrase you said? Via?
Via the negativa.
And it was found in?
Nassim Taleb in his book Anti-Fragile.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for myself, I would refer to a book by J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
On masculinity, I would say Aragorn is the most masculine character he would ever define, and seeing the obstacles he discovered, increased, went through all the trials and tribulations, even though he had everything given to him with his birthright, he still had to work and gain from that.
Yeah.
He grew up with Elrond, did all of these different things, and seeing that and being able to go through the struggles of the draw towards the ring and that kind of power and where that comes from.
Yeah.
And being able to say, no, Frodo, you can keep going.
Yeah.
Like, I would go with you to the ends of Mordor, but I'm going to take this opportunity to just, say it's better for me to let you do it.
Yeah.
And that is the true form of masculinity.
I would also add in on that, a foundational place for men to start is going to the gym.
Tell me more.
Having that discipline to
I
go to the
see.
gym
Gotcha.
shows us a level of self-love and self-respect that you don't find in many other places or any type of physical endeavor. And then that commitment to yourself will extrapolate out into everything else that you do and how people view you as a person.
Explain for me the holistic component of going to the gym, from the mental to the physical to the other components.
Well, if what you think
Yeah.
determines how you feel and what you feel determines what your actions are,
Yeah.
going to the gym is a decision that you can make,
Yeah.
a thought
Yeah.
that then translates into a feeling because you feel good after you release the endorphins of physically exerting yourself, which then leads you to be a better person. And you're going to direct your life in that same sense and having a commitment. And it just shows a level of dedication that most people don't have. Most people are out of shape, lazy, and
Sure.
eat junk food. If you can get that thing down, that's the one thing that's in everybody's control. Being in shape is in every single person's control, and most choose not to. But people look at you differently when you are, and that's for good reason.
Last question. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Sure, I guess, what led you towards wanting to talk about integrity? Your question.
For me, it was personal, Robbie. Many years trying to figure it out, really trying to sort out where do I start, how do I experience it, but not having access to it, not having models like you guys were mentioning to kind of show the way, and living a duplicitous life as well. Many years, and seeing the toll that was rising with each coming year, and for me it was a couple of decades at least in this zone. And then finally, that critical point where I was like, there's not much more I can handle on this current pathway that I'm on. And then realizing the tremendous cost it was going to be to realign again. Being on this side now, not saying I've arrived, but being on this side saying, I really appreciate what I've come to experience, but I still remember what it was like when I once was there. That's why this really means a lot for me, to talk to people like this, to make accessible ideas from different vantage points, and also to encourage others to have this as more part of the conversation. It's really unusual to find, say at a bar, a group of guys huddled around talking about what it means to be men of character, unimpeachable commitments, But I think it's worthwhile to strive for that, and so this is just a small sort of a encouragement for others to consider going down that way.
Yeah, I appreciate your work. That's
Thank
really
you.
good. I think it's a good start.
Thank you.
Asking the question back to you, in your experience coming around asking people such questions, what does integrity mean to you?
For me, okay, I'm going to give you the definition I came up with, but I've spent a lot of time with this theme here. I like yours because it's so simple. What did you say? Unimpeachable?
Unimpeachable character.
There we go. Just 2 words, right? Mine is 50. No, it's not 15. I'd say It was amazing. Robbie, I appreciate you. I define integrity as the desire, the consistent desire to have your internal values match your external actions while being respectful to others and true to yourself. Yeah, so those components, I like the desire part because you know what it's like when you go to the gym, you're like, I want to be here for my, you're motivated, right? Imagine someone who doesn't want to be there, they are going to cut corners, right? So there's the desire component. The consistency is important as well, doing it over and over again. On the theme of integrity, I could have committed like the last 5 years to walking with integrity and then just stop now. It doesn't mean I still am a person of integrity. It's in the moment, sort of a commitment, right? Consistency is a huge part of it. And again, that alignment internally, externally is a huge part of it, I'd say. So, yeah. Thanks for asking. This has been amazing, you guys. Thank you for being a part.
Pleasure.
It's hard to know what you're saying yes to, isn't it? Like when you first see someone approaching and saying, I don't know where this is going to go, but I value what your contributions are because I imagine it's going to encourage a lot of young people. I love the diverse insights I get from people along the way, but it just helps others a little further along the way.
Perfect.
If you want to watch this here, you can find it on my YouTube channel.
Yep.
So just search my name, Binyam, B-I-N-Y-A-M, Binyam, and then my last name is A-S-R-E-S-S. Let's try that again, A-S-R-E-S-S, that's what I said, yeah.
Perfect. I'm just going to shout out my Instagram here too.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
Cam_Ivan1, the number 1.
Cam_Ivan1.
yeah.
I'm gonna tag you when I post this because I do clips on Instagram.
Nice.
I put the full one on YouTube and then I do like little teasers on Instagram. So Cam_Ivan,
I-V-A-N,
yeah,
1.
Cool.
I
If you
don't
like.
know what my Instagram is, but
That's
it's
okay.
like Robbie something. So I've
probably
got,
find
like,
him.
5 followers.
Thank you, gentlemen, for being a part. I so appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you guys for sharing that too, eh? A wonderful audience who they can't see on camera, but amazing.
Thank you.
I appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you as well, Rob.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you guys think, guys?
That made my day.
Pretty good?
Wonderful.
Yeah? Nice.
It's perfect with the sunlight. Too.
I appreciate you suggesting that, darling.
13.
Damn it!
Julian gave you an extra 5 for the Lord of the Rings weapon.
Oh, I love that one. It was good.
The immortal words of J.R.R. Tolkien?
Yeah, that was awesome. I was just thinking
I'd like to throw
about.
this back to an obscure.
Well, I was thinking with that one though. Wouldn't it be great to read, I don't know, study on the evolution of Aragorn's character? Like, there's a lot of backstory that isn't shown in the film, for example, right?
Quite
That'd
a
be
lot,
really
yeah.
cool.
Like, I know everything about it, but
Yeah.
I do it all the time. But it is actually, like, as much as that was a bit of a joke, it is
Yeah.
a very inspiring character and
Totally,
stuff like that too,
I agree.
Which, like, I truly believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the backstory of him,
Yeah.
Numenor, all of that.
Yeah.
Chieftain of the Dunedain, it's really incredible.
You know what I'm really impressed by is I'm like a couple of decades ahead of you guys, I think.
Probably
Seriously.
yeah,
Oh, okay. 29? You're 20? I'm 29? I appreciate that, brother. No, I appreciate it though. I'll take it. But no, like the insights that you're already at. So I'm encouraged by that.
Well, what you said in terms of men like not really going around like having these types of conversations in the bar, it's what we do at a pretty regular basis.
Amazing.
Because, I mean, you just want to be better.
How did y'all meet each other?
Met in college, we dropped out together.
Nice. I love that. Like, great point of reference. Yeah.
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 And then work.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Oh, you mean from Victoria?
Well, he moved there and then he met all of them. Got
Gotcha.
dating. And
And then y'all came over here.
yeah.
You're happy about to move here?
Wild backstory.
Yeah.
That's
very.
awesome. I didn't learn your guys' names. Nick? Nice to meet you, Nick. Do you ever find people are always looking up to you? I'm sorry, that was a really cheesy joke. I'm sorry. Nice to meet you, Nick. And you are Julian. I did hear
to meet you,
earlier.
man.
Likewise.
No, pleasure, absolutely.
Happy birthday, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
23.
23.
Man. And darling?
Kieran, nice
Kieran?
to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Keiran.
Keiran.
There we are. Simple. Very cool. Well, I hope to see you guys along the way, guy.
Yes, yeah, appreciate it. Can't
All
wait to see
right.
the video.
Cheers. Cheers, man.
Nice to meet you, man. Enjoy
Thank
your
you.
day.
Thank you, guys.
Do you want to write down? Could I go?